What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Judeo and I'm back again with a new video. Today we're going to be checking out Feminist quote by Jordan Peterson about toxic masculinity. This sounds like something Andrew Tate would do, but I'm ready. I'm excited to see this one, so without wasting your time, let's get to it.
Hi Jordan, my question is, what is the antidote towards toxic masculinity?
The antidote?
Well, the antidote is responsible masculinity. And what does responsible mean? It means, well, if you're responsible, then you're trying to do what's
things right,
honest first. So you're careful with your speech and your actions. You're careful with your speech in that you don't say things that you know to be false, and you're careful in your actions so that you don't have to lie about what you do. That's a good start. And then the next thing would be that
he likes to use that. That's a good start.
Taking responsibility for yourself, at least, so that once you're an adult, no one else has to bend over backwards to ensure that you don't unduly suffer in the world. And so that's responsibility for yourself. And then if you get halfway good at that, well, then, you might think about taking on the responsibility of a family and contributing to your community and doing all those things in a harmonious manner. That's obviously the antidote to toxic masculinity, which is not a phrase I would generally use. I just think about it as...
People use it generally when referring to Andrew Tate. I don't know why, but people like to use it in that manner.
What would you call it? I think sinful behavior is a much more accurate representation.
I think so too, yeah.
But it's honesty and responsibility. And I do think about it as a function of harmony. I got that a lot from reading Jean Piaget, whose work was a psychological extension of Kant's categorical imperative, because Kant believed that you should act in a manner such that if the way you acted became a universal, that would be beneficial. But Piaget...
That's actually a very nice way, act in a manner that if the way you acted became universal, is going to be beneficial. That's actually very good. Someone said that about being a Christian. He said he's a Christian not necessarily because of a supreme deity, God, but he's a Christian because the value Christianity preaches. If that became the norm, then the society would be a great society. I forgot who made that statement, but I always have that at the back of my mind. So yeah, it almost correlates with what Jordan Peterson is saying today.
They formalized that very nicely, showing that one of the bases for the emergence of a system of genuine ethics was an iterable form of reciprocity. So that, so for example, I can give you a quick example of that. My granddaughter, who's now 15 months old, has discovered a new game. And it's a Piagetian game, a developmental game. And she discovered this by watching, but also on her own, and partly because it's a very deep part of human nature. So she has this little wooden spoon, and her game is, you sit with her at the table, and her game is, she gives you the spoon, and then you take it, and then you give it back, and then she's all happy about that, and then she gives the spoon to the person who's sitting beside her, and then they give it back to her, and
then she takes it again.
She's happy about that, and so it's an amazing game because she's learned to give up something, to let go of something that she wants, and to trust someone else to
give it
return
back
it to her, and that's what she's playing with. And then you can play with that game. It's quite fun. So, and you have to pay careful attention to her and watch how she's manifesting her emotions. And so maybe what you do is you take the spoon and you hide it under your hand. That sort of disconcerts her a bit. Then you show it to her and pick it up and give it to her, and she's happy about that because what she sees is that the principle of reciprocity can maintain itself across a set of transformations, and that's really exciting to her. Or you can give her the spoon and she can give it back to you, and then she can reach for it and you can pull it away 1/4 of an inch, and that sort of disconcerts her, and then she'll...
Don't you think she's going to be disappointed when she comes to the realization that real life doesn't always work like that? People don't always reciprocate because they are very greedy. Just saying. Why are we not hearing her?
You want to repeat that?
I'm sorry. I said that didn't cover really a toxic masculinity, right? Because
yes, it's dealing with the principle of reciprocity.
No, you just said that you have to be honest and responsible as a man. Right?
Well, put it this way: when I'm giving the spoon back to my granddaughter, I'm not engaging in toxic masculinity. And that was the point that I was trying to make, is that, and this deep reciprocity and trust is part of the social contract, and it is precisely the antidote to what precisely, since we're going to pursue this, what precisely is toxic masculinity? As opposed to, say, toxic femininity or toxic humanity. What exactly are you asking me about?
I really want to know what you like, how you would describe.
No, but you're asking the question though. Why are you throwing it back at him?
Toxic masculinity.
We need to understand
No, I want you to define what toxic masculinity constitutes.
So
Since
we know
we're going
what to
to
answer.
define things so carefully, let's do it.
Well, I think
Okay, guys, sorry, but we
And he has a very straight face. Let's do it.
really have to move on. So there will be more questions later on. There will be a lot of opportunity.
No,
to
but
ask
maybe
questions.
let's
If you can define it, then
okay. So let's
the
define it
answer.
shortly.
All right, shortly, please.
okay. I think that the moment when you kind of I have a hard time to kind of describe it in English. Let's say, that you kind of go over a boundary that kind of neglects the freedom of the opposite, well, gender or whatsoever. So that
People always tend to put Jordan Peterson in this space or in this box that he's always suppressing the freedom of other people, especially in other genders.
toxic masculinity, and that you kind of have
But
this,
that would also be toxic femininity.
well, may I like finish my sentence?
Sure.
please? Thank you. And then also, I lost my sentence now. But no, I will be back. I'm back.
Let her find herself, guys.
Being here in the audience.
Okay, so before we move on, let me point something out. You know, that I was willing to undertake this line of discussion, allowing for the possibility that the category of toxic masculinity had some content, right? But if we're going to pursue that line of reasoning and quibble about the answer, then we're certainly going to quibble about the definition that's embedded in the question. And so part of what's happened in our discourse is that we're required ethically to assume a priori, merely out of politeness, that the utterance toxic masculinity actually constitutes a meaningful phrase. And if you push it, you find very rapidly that it doesn't. It's very, very, very difficult to define, and definitions actually matter. And
I feel like people define it based on their own experiences or based on their own imaginations or even based on their emotions.
so if it's a matter
they
of
feel about it.
transgressing against the boundaries of gender-appropriate behavior, well, first of all, that indicates that there's something universal and normative about gender-appropriate behavior, which is something that people who push the idea of toxic masculinity generally tend not to presume. And second, it's just as likely to happen among women as among men, in which case it's not toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So
Maybe toxic
moving on to the
humanity.
next question.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure he's tired of hearing the questions about him being suppressing freedom of other genders and all of those things, freedom of speech and everything. I'm sure he's really tired of hearing those. But he was still able to keep his composure and respond. And I don't feel like he responded in a manner that wasn't understandable. Yeah. But as far as her question, I feel like she had a definition in mind, or she's had an experience of Jordan Peterson saying something and she was trying to push to that angle, but she couldn't really express herself. I understand that English probably was not her first language. So even me, it's difficult sometimes to explain myself. Like what I think is difficult to convey it into a relatable message. So I understand. But anyway, Jordan Peterson answered the question in the very best way. It could be toxic anything, toxic humanity. That's the end of this video. If you want us to check out some more by Jordan Peterson, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.